My girlfriend posted, "Single and ready to mingle," on Instagram while I was at work. I commented, "Congratulations on your new status." Then I changed the locks and posted her belongings on Facebook Marketplace. Her mom called me within 20 minutes. I'm 32 male, I'm a structural engineer. My job is about predictable outcomes. You apply pressure, a structure reacts in a knowable way. I thought my relationship with Qley, 29, was a stable structure. We'd been together 3 years, lived in my condo for 18 months. She was impulsive and online, I was quiet and offline. It was supposed to work. Everything was normal until 2:15 p.m. on a Tuesday. A text from a friend linked me to Qley's Instagram. There she was, in a new post, looking radiant at a cocktail bar. The caption hit me like a wrecking ball. "Finally free and listening to my own heart. Single and ready to mingle. Let the new adventures begin. Girl boss, new beginnings, hot girl summer, love yourself." I read it twice. It wasn't a breakup, it was a press release. The comments were already pouring in from her friends. "Yes, queen, his loss." Humiliation is a cold, clarifying force. This was a structural failure. The correct response was a controlled demolition. I went to her post and added my own comment. "Congratulations on your new status. I wish you all the best." Then I told my boss I had a plumbing emergency and left work. The drive home was silent. My mind was a blueprint. She made a public statement, I acknowledged it. The terms were set. First, I called a locksmith. Non-emergency lock change, sole owner. He was an hour out. I got home and started packing. It was just a task. Clothes in boxes, shoes in another. Her makeup explosion on the bathroom counter was swept into a bin. Then I got to the bigger items, the expensive accent chair she'd picked out, the pro-grade espresso machine she had to have, and the elaborate terrarium stand I'd spent a month of weekends building for her rare plant collection. It was my labor and my materials, housing her hobby. I took out my phone and opened Facebook Marketplace. Item 1, funky velvet armchair. Title, ex-girlfriend's chair, free. Description, she has a new status, so the chair needs a new home. U-Haul, curb pickup. Item 2, fancy espresso machine. Title, barely used coffee machine, $50. Description, makes bitter coffee, which feels appropriate. Her loss is your gain. Item 3, custom illuminated plant stand. Title, gorgeous handmade terrarium stand, bookshelf, free. Description, built with love, now being given away with respectful indifference. Perfect for someone not starting a new adventure. Plants not included. I posted them all. My phone started buzzing with notifications almost immediately. 17 minutes later it rang. Caller ID, Diane, Qley's mom. "Mark, what is the meaning of this?" she demanded, her voice tight. "Qley is a wreck. Her friend sent her a screenshot. Are you selling her things? Is this some sick joke?" "Hello, Diane," I said, my voice level. "It's no joke. Qley announced she's single. I'm just helping her expedite the move. I assumed she'd want a fresh start." "Her things?" "That's her property. She was just having a moment, Mark." It was a silly, emotional post. I could see the photo in my head. Single and ready to mingle. "Diane," I said, my voice turning colder, "she publicly ended our relationship with a hashtag. There's no ambiguity. A woman named Brenda is on her way for the espresso machine. If Qley wants her things, she should come get them." "Oh, wait." The locksmith's van pulled up. "She can't, actually. The locks are being changed as we speak. I'll box the rest. She can arrange to pick it up from the curb tomorrow." The sputtering on the other end was pure outrage. "You changed the locks? You're kicking her out? Over an Instagram post?" "No," I corrected her. "I'm securing my home after a breakup she initiated. As she said, it's a new adventure. This is just the first step. Have a good evening." I hung up. The locksmith got to work. My phone buzzed. Brenda got the espresso machine. A student claimed the chair. The terrarium stand had 3 people fighting over it. This wasn't revenge. This was a predictable outcome. She applied the pressure. The structure was simply reacting. Update 1. The hurricane made landfall at 8 p.m. that night. Frantic, angry pounding on my newly secured door. "Mark, open this door right now." It was Qley, her voice radiating pure indignation. I opened the door, leaving the security chain on. She looked less like the girl boss from the photo and more like a furious child. "My key doesn't work," she snapped. "I know." I changed the locks. "Why?" "Because of a stupid picture. I was just feeling myself." "You announced you were single. I believed you." Her eyes darted into the apartment, widening in horror at the empty space where her chair used to be. "Where is my chair? Mark, where is the espresso machine? Brenda has the espresso machine. Kevin has the chair. I posted them on Marketplace, remember? You gave them away," she shrieked. "I paid for them. And you left them in my home when you became single," I said calmly. "I needed the space." Her gaze landed on the empty corner of the room. "My stand. Mark, don't you dare tell me you gave away my stand." "It's gone," I said. "A couple of aspiring botanists had picked it up. They were thrilled. Your plants are safe. They're on the floor." "My plants will die. That setup was custom. You should have thought about that before your hot girl summer." Her mother, Diane, arrived then, marching up the walkway like a general. "Mark, this has gone far enough. Qley made a mistake. She was emotional. You are supposed to be the bigger person." "This isn't retaliation, Diane. This is acceptance. I am accepting the end of the relationship," she announced. "Consequence?" Qley sobbed. "He's throwing me out. He's giving away my property." I started to close the door. "We're done here." She lunged, trying to force her way in. "My stand, Mark. I'm not leaving without my stand." I held the door firm and slid the deadbolt home. The screaming outside continued for another 10 minutes before they drove off. The next morning, 2 police officers knocked on my door. "Sir, we received a call for a wellness check," the older one said. "A friend was concerned you were acting erratically and making threats. A dirty, malicious trick." I took a deep breath. "Officers, I can assure you I am fine. My ex-girlfriend and I broke up yesterday." I invited them in and laid out the evidence: her Instagram post, my comment, the timestamps, the marketplace listings, the texts from Qley and Diane. I was calm, organized, factual. The older cop sighed. "Okay, sir, it sounds like a civil dispute. She claims you're withholding her property." "I am not," I said. "I have offered to box up all her belongings for pickup. The only disputed item is a piece of furniture I built myself, which I consider a fixture of my home." They understood. They advised me to arrange a formal pickup time to avoid more drama and left. As the older cop departed, he shook his head. #HotGirlSummer? Yeesh. After they left, my adrenaline spiked. I sent Qley a text. "Per the recommendation of the police you sent to my home for a fraudulent wellness check, I am scheduling a final property pickup. Your belongings will be boxed and in the loading bay this Saturday at 10 a.m. You have 1 hour to collect them. After that, they will be donated. Do not come to my door. The terrarium stand is not included." Her reply was instant. "You'll be hearing from my lawyer." "I look forward to it," I typed back. The days that followed were filled with messages from her friends, calling me a controlling monster. The narrative was being written, and I was the villain. But every manipulative message just hardened my resolve. They couldn't stand that I refused to play the victim. Update 2, Saturday at 10 a.m., an SUV pulled into the loading bay. Qley got out with her father, Gary. He was a big man who tried to solve problems with a firm handshake and a booming voice. "Mark's son," he started, hand outstretched. "Let's put a stop to this nonsense, a terrible misunderstanding." I ignored his hand. "There's no misunderstanding, Gary. Your daughter ended our relationship. Here's her property." I pointed to a neat stack of 15 boxes. Qley ignored them. "Where is it?" she demanded. "Where's my stand?" "The stand is not your property," I said, voice flat. "I built it. You can have the plants." I gestured to a sad cardboard box of her homeless succulents. Gary's friendly mask dropped. "Now, hold on. That was a gift to my daughter. You're stealing. We'll sue you." "Go ahead," I said. "I have receipts for the lumber and the lighting components. I have photos of the build process. A court will see it's a custom fixture I built for my own home. Her privilege to use it was revoked." "You'll regret this," Qley hissed as they drove off with her boxes. 2 days later, she launched her smear campaign. A teary-eyed selfie on Instagram and Facebook accompanied a long post about her toxic and controlling ex who threw her out and was holding her treasured possessions hostage to emotionally torment her. She claimed my comment was mocking her mental health. It was a masterclass in propaganda. That was it. This was no longer a breakup. It was an attack. I retained a lawyer, Miss Albright, for $1,500. She was sharp, no nonsense, and drafted a beautiful cease and desist letter. It demanded the removal of all defamatory posts and laid out the entire timeline, with Qley's own posts as evidence against her. It also referenced the fraudulent police wellness check as harassment. Before we sent it, Diane tried one last desperate gambit. She left a pleading voicemail. "Mark, honey?" she cooed. Qley is devastated. In the chaos, she forgot her grandmother's painting, the one in the hallway. It was the last thing her nana gave her before she passed. The sentimental value is immeasurable. Please, just let her have that one thing back. My blood ran cold. The painting in the hallway? An abstract landscape I bought 2 years ago at an art festival for $800. Qley was with me. Her grandmother is very much alive. It was a brazen, disgusting lie, using a fake death to try and extort a valuable piece of art. I saved the voicemail and forwarded it, along with the credit card statement for the painting, to Miss Albright. "Add this to the letter," I wrote. "Highlight the part about attempted fraud through emotional manipulation." Her reply was a single sentence. "It will be my pleasure." The letter went out via certified mail the next day. This was no longer about a breakup. It was about defending myself against malicious lies. And I was going to finish it. Final update. It's been 7 months. The most powerful weapon I had, it turns out, was methodical silence. Miss Albright's cease and desist letter landed like a bomb. Within 48 hours, the social media posts vanished. The calls and texts stopped. Faced with a documented legal threat that laid their lies bare, they folded instantly. They had the stomach for online bullying but not for a real fight based on evidence. I never heard from them again, but information trickles through. What I heard painted a picture of a slow, painful collision with reality. Qley's hot girl Summer was a bust. The gym guy who supposedly sparked her declaration of freedom was spooked by the drama and ghosted her. Her friends, so eager to cheerlead online, were less enthusiastic about offering their couches. Her grand adventure ended with a humiliating retreat to her childhood bedroom. Her relationship with her mother soured. They reportedly blame each other. Qley for her impulsiveness, Diane for her terrible advice, and for escalating the situation. The united front crumbled. As for the artifacts of our former life, the painting, the one from her late grandmother, still hangs in my hallway. It's a reminder that I dodged a cannonball, a trophy of the victory of simple documented truth over a pathetic lie. The terrarium stand met a different fate. I dismantled it, sanded the reclaimed maple, and reforged it into a stunning, low-profile media console and bookshelf. I took something built for her and reclaimed it for myself. It was the final step in reclaiming my space and my peace. My life has moved on. The lawyer's bill was painful, but it was an investment in my future peace. I'm dating again, a wonderful woman who finds my quiet nature calming. I never wanted revenge. I wanted consequences. Qley and her family believed they could manipulate reality through a well-crafted victim narrative and sheer force of will. They thought I would crumble under social pressure. They miscalculated. They applied emotional pressure to a logical framework, and the framework held. She wanted to be single. I facilitated the logistics of that decision with maximum efficiency. She wanted drama. I gave her cold, documented facts. The most satisfying part isn't that I won. It's the silence. It's knowing she has to live with the consequences of her choices every day, in her childhood bedroom, surrounded by boxes she can't unpack. She didn't just lose a boyfriend. She lost the stability she so clearly took for granted. She played a stupid game and won exactly what she asked for.